As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.
What about you?
I am single. I've been single for, I don't know, about a year and a half or so. I was kind of seeing a guy a little bit, but we weren't really official. And
Longest relationship?
My longest relationship was 9 years.
And were you married?
Yes.
Just one time?
Yes.
All right. No kids, right?
Nope.
Okay. Married 9 years. Who initiated the divorce?
He did.
Okay. Any alimony in any direction?
He said he pays me a little bit, but not much.
When did that end? The marriage relationship?
We split up about 9 years ago, and then the divorce was final a few years ago. I can't remember the exact date.
Wait, you've been separated for 9 years?
No, we split up at that time, but the divorce wasn't final for a few years.
But you guys were broken up 9 years ago?
Yes, that was my longest relationship.
Can you even fathom that scenario? Breaking up with someone 9 years ago and still having to pay them monthly alimony payments? That's gotta be hell on earth.
Okay, so you dated him maybe from like 20 to 29?
Yes, about that, yeah.
Okay. And then, but it took time for you guys to actually get divorced.
Yeah.
And is he still paying you alimony?
A little bit.
Oh my God.
Wait, and sorry, you initiated it? He initiated
He
it?
initiated.
He initiated the divorce. Yeah. Okay. And during that time you guys were separated, was he providing you support financially?
A small amount.
Okay.
When we're separated because of...
Wait, how long were you guys married?
9 years.
Oh. You were together 9 years and married 9 years?
We were together just over 9 years. We got married very, very quickly. We were both...
Like how quick into meeting? Did you guys...
3 months.
Oh, 3 months. Yeah. Okay. Got married. What is the alimony going to expire, or is that in perpetuity?
He has to pay me a little bit for a while because of the length of time that we were together.
What state were you married in?
Washington State.
Washington
Wait,
State.
what? Hold on a second, because I don't know if we have this in Canada. If you guys break up, one person, I assume it's whoever makes more money, correct? Or is it always the man?
It has to do with how long you're married, how long you're together.
But who's the one most commonly paying? Like, who has to pay? Is it the one who makes the most money or the dude?
It's usually the one who makes the most money.
Mm-hmm. So here, say you and I are married for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Say you're awful and you I'm not saying you are, but say you beat me every day, screwed my brother, my dad, and my grandpa.
Nasty bitch.
And now we have to break up and I got to pay you money just because we broke up?
Because if you're married, yes, but that has to do with whether or not it's a no-fault state.
What the hell does that mean?
A no-fault state means that if you're not in a no-fault state, somebody can come and say, like, if a guy is divorcing a woman because she cheated on him, he can say, she cheated on me, she ruined our marriage, she's at fault, I shouldn't have to pay her.
Okay.
When you are in a no-fault state, they don't look at any of that stuff. It doesn't matter who did what in your relationship. The person who was making the majority of the money still usually needs to provide.
And was that the case with you? It was no fault?
Yeah, it's a no-fault state.
That sounds crazy. So how do you protect against cases of abuse or something? Because oftentimes you can't. Not saying you were abusive. I'm not suggesting you in any way, but people in those situations, I just don't understand. Because a lot of times you can't prove abuse.
That's part of why a lot of people want to get rid of no fault.
And you can see why. With such obvious loopholes, it's a hotbed for fraud, waste, and abuse.
Okay.
Because correct.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate that.
Because it's
nothing against you personally. I'm I'm not from here.
No,
guys,
I agree with you that it's not fair most of the time what they do when it's like, hey, a guy has to pay half of his money to a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few more questions on this. So, when was the divorce finalized?
I don't remember the exact time. It was a few years after we separated.
Okay, so was it before or after COVID?
Before.
Before COVID?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know the length of time he has to pay you alimony?
I'm not entirely sure. It's partly because of his job, and I don't really want to get into that a whole lot. It has to do with the length of time that we were legally married.
Sure. So when you say it has to do with his job, so he was or is a high earner?
No, not necessarily. I don't want to get into what he does for work because this is not about him and his information doesn't need to be out there.
Oh, we don't need to know like
So-
where he works or a specific thing. Are you able to share like the field that he's in? Is he like finance or?
I can't really
That's fine,
share it
that's
without
fine.
giving it away.
That's fine. It's like a famous
And it
athlete or
has to
something.
do with us being, because we were legally married for more than 10 years. That makes a
Wait.
difference with it.
How are you legally married from?
Because we split up, we were
Okay,
together
I
for
s-
9 years and then the divorce took a while.
Right. So you
Makes sense.
you each had lawyers?
No.
Oh, okay. So neither of you had lawyers.
Was it a
No, we
prenup
signed
situation?
The paperwork.
Yeah. Did you guys have a prenuptial agreement?
No. There's,
Okay.
you know, we don't argue over anything. There's not really like a ton of hard feelings over it. It's
Sure.
just, you know, we sign the paperwork and
Yeah. I guess what I'm getting at is you guys didn't have kids. What during the course of the relationship, was he financially taking care of everything?
mostly, yes.
Okay. Did you not pursue certain job opportunities because you were with him?
Yeah.
Like, were you working while you were with him?
His job moved us around.
Okay. And then prior to meeting him, like, what were you doing for work?
I was 19.
Okay.
I didn't really work a whole lot.
And were you guys about the same age, or was he a bit
He's
older?
3.5 years older.
3.5 years older. Okay.
Okay, let me get this straight. So he's an average earner and you guys have no kids. So why is he obligated to pay you alimony? I don't get it.
And was the divorce contentious?
Not really.
Okay. If you wanted to, could you go to the court and say, you know what? I don't want alimony. Could you do that?
Yeah, probably.
Is there any reason you don't? Like, is he just like, would he voluntarily just pay you the money if there was no legal court, whatever?
I'm not entirely sure. It's honestly, it's hard to answer it because it all has to do with stuff with his job that I can't really get into.
Oh, okay.
Is he with the CIA?
No.
It's
Guess
just
you couldn't tell us
like,
even if
do
he
you
was,
think,
eh?
like, but I guess my question is, what I'm getting at here, y'all have been separated for 9 years. Why? And you don't have kids. When's the last time you? Okay, well, I'll just say, when's the last time you had sex with him?
Why would I have sex with him when we're not together?
Yeah, exactly. Why should he give you money if you're not together?
Gotcha, bitch.
It's fucking crazy.
Exactly. If he has to pay you after divorce, what does he get back in return? It can't be this one-sided.
In any case, look, there's perhaps some instances where I think alimony could be argued as justified, but you were both single. You've been separated for nine years. Why is this guy paying you fucking money?
He's also not paying me a lot of money, and a big part of it has to do with the fact that I moved around for his career and was not able to establish one of my own. So for many years after we split up, I was in a pretty tough situation trying to get my life sorted out so that I could afford to take care of myself more. And over those years, he has paid me less and less.
Well, for the period of time that you guys were together, what he was paying all the rent?
Yes.
Okay. Was he paying for food?
Yes.
He was paying your expenses?
Mm-hmm.
Did he give you like a allowance or something?
No.
No allowance.
No.
Okay. So like if you needed to buy something for you, how would you?
I would
pay?
ask him.
Oh, so okay. You didn't get an allowance, but anything you needed, he would pay for it.
No, not if I needed it. Yes. I didn't go out and just go
Right.
on shopping sprees
Right,
with his
of
money.
course.
If I was spending anything more than
sure.
$50, it was, hey, can I get this? And if he
I
said
see.
no, it was,
I see.
okay, I won't.
I want to ask the chat, do you think that given the fact they don't have kids, they were married for technically over 10 years, but they were together for 9 years, separated, but he delayed his start of the divorce. You think this guy should be paying her 9 years? It's been nearly a decade since they've had sex. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not. Why would he be obligated to pay her 9 years after the divorce? Make it make sense. Oh, she needs to get back on her feet? Here, maybe 1 to 2 years of alimony payments. Maybe. That's understandable. But 9 years? What's the cutoff to this thing?
I don't know. Like, what if the courts were like, you know what? What about sexual alimony?
Oh.
Nice.
That was easy.
Why is it that men?
Wait, what?
Hold on.
Wait,
Look, I'm
wait.
not advocating for this. I'm not saying that prescriptively that this should be the case, but you guys would be like, that's ridiculous. Why should the woman have to continue having sex with the man after they've broken up? Why should the man then have to continue paying the woman after they've broken up?
That's a good question.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I think the better question is he happy to pay this money?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Number one, does he have an issue? No.
Of course he's not happy to pay his ex-wife monthly. That's a dumb question.
Number two, if it's not a lot of money, what's the reason you continue to take it?
I am still in a position where I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to need it anymore.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a lie.
Okay, but kind of like with a car agreement, you can't just be like, oh, I got a red car and I signed this lease. Now I want a blue one. And then, they should just disregard the agreement. Like, marriage is a legal binding between men and women. So, I mean...
Also, we don't know what they went through. Like, maybe she has some, emotional distress or something like that.
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
Emotional distress?
Yeah, I mean, men are, a lot to handle, especially if we don't know the ins and outs of somebody's relationship.
Wait, hold on. He divorced her.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think that caused emotional trauma?
Be like, you know what? I want a blue BMW.
Wait, so
yeah, and she's moved her whole life.
Okay, are you alleging that there was emotional trauma?
I moved my entire life. For
That's not
this
emotional
man.
trauma.
That's emotional stress.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, but that was 9 years ago. Are you telling me you're still healing from that? Or maybe you're just enjoying the free cash?
It's a lot. Moving is a lot of work.
So much
Hold
for
on,
him for
hold
what?
on. No. Hold on. Y'all are crazy.
Whoa.
Moving, in my perspective, when she's saying, well, my life, I was moving around, what I hear is she lived for free for 9 years. If
Isn't that
I could get
traditional
with a
woman?
girl and she took care of fucking everything for 9 years, I wouldn't be trying to shake her down for money a fucking decade after the last time we even been together.
Maybe you wouldn't. Some men do.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's a privilege to get that kind of treatment. He should be able to deduct everything that he spent on her throughout the marriage and minus that from the alimony payments. It's only fair.
Don't
men will
shake
take
him
from
down
women
for
like that.
money.
Okay,
I
the
think
legal
you would.
system is literally a fucking shakedown. It's wealth transfer from men to women.
Yeah.
That's the legal system.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
My other question is,
That was a
if
lot.
the positions were reversed, obviously you're the only one that knows the full in and outs of your relationship. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge anybody. Well, I kind of
You
am
can
a little
judge.
bit, but
You
I'm
can
not going to judge you.
Judge
because
Chloe.
you're very sweet.
Judge Chloe.
My question is, don't look there. You're like, do it. If the positions were exactly reversed, would you be happy to pay him as well?
I don't know if I would be happy about it, but if I had married somebody that was a lifetime commitment and they moved their entire life for my career so that I could do what I wanted to do and live my life how I want to, then I would probably understand that if that's how the courts are set up, that's just something I have to deal with, or if that's whatever it is that has to do that, then...
Here's what I don't understand, right? So I think there is, I hear the other side when it comes to alimony and divorce, where it's like a woman, let's say you meet a girl and she was in college at the time and she was pursuing software engineering. And had she gone on to get that degree, she would end up making, upon graduation, in some cases, immediately they start making $100,000 a year. A lot of these software engineers can make into like the $200,000, $300,000 a year eventually. But I guess my question is, what if a woman prior to meeting her she was a hairdresser, and that was what she was going to be for the rest of her life.
Some
There's
hairdressers
not
make
really
six
like
figures.
you don't really. I mean, you can raise your prices over time.
No, some
but
make
if you're a
six figures.
if you're a hairdresser, you keep the skills that you got prior to entering the relationship. Why should a man then basically what's the term for it? Subsidize your life when once that relationship ends, you can just go back to the career you were doing and basically make what you, I mean, adjusted for inflation or whatever, make what you were doing at the start of the relationship. I realize not all people are hairdressers, but also not all people are software engineers. So
Most people, after they've not been working for a while, have a very hard time going back to whatever career they were doing and making the same amount. For one, makes it very difficult.
okay, but I also, there's this lack of acknowledgement. Like the way I'm viewing it is if he was supporting you during this entire time, I view that as a windfall where you didn't have any actual expenses, like you didn't pay for rent, you didn't pay for food, you didn't pay for XYZ expense for a period of, you know, 9 years you were together. I view that as a windfall, and I don't know.
But would you have been happy to
I don't
have
know.
paid the bills? Did you put aside your dreams and your goals and your education to support him in his endeavors?
Yes.
So I don't see what the issue is. I think that there should be a time cap, 9 years. I think that's a little long. However, Brian, if you are, you know, if say you're with a woman and, you know, she's like, I'm a rock star and I want to go travel the world, but you have to be with me. So you have to give up your podcast, everything you're doing and all the money you're making, and come, I'll take care of you. But then she's just one day, she's like, yeah, like I'm going to divorce you, whatever reason, whatever. Would you not feel kind of slighted? You'd be like, I had my own stuff. But then on the other side of it, it's like, that's your choice. So I'm kind of 50-50. I think 9 years is a long time, but I also think if you've put your whole life aside for somebody to support them in their endeavors, which often happens in relationships, then I get it. For 9 years, no. But I get it. Like 2-3 years after.
Or perhaps
why
like
not?
at a minimum.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get it. You know, you marry someone, you travel around the world to accommodate their career, and they divorce you. Understandable. I get it. But 9 years later, you haven't figured out a new career path. You haven't found a new man. I think it's a you problem at this point. And he shouldn't have to be paying you alimony 9 years later. 1 to 2 years later, max. And that's it.
When the relationship's ended, if you've been the sole provider of all the finances and everything, just like a grace period when the relationship's over of supporting them to the point where they get financially, you know, stable enough to support everything themselves and then take it away, versus like we were together for 25 years. Now I'm going to have to pay you every month a certain amount, you know, for the 25 years, even though we just split up for like the rest of our lives.
That there are definitely a whole bunch of different scenarios that can either make more sense for there to be alimony. But, you know, in this case, I think that, I think, yes, I'm not going to be super hard line where it's like, all right, you're a woman, you met young, you've been with the guy for 40 years, and then he dumps you. I think it'd be fair to say that there should be some component of ongoing support, perhaps not for the rest of their life, but for a period of time. But in this specific example, and even in this specific example, I'd be willing to grant perhaps a year of alimony would be warranted just to get somebody back on their feet. But I mean, like what? 9 years, a decade's a long period of time. So what, like, you know?
If I may add, I mean, to me, the way that I'm like hearing the whole alimony situation is, it sounds like you were promised a certain lifestyle and you were promised a certain financial freedom or a certain dream or you know, like home, family, whatever. And because that promise was broken, like during that promise, you were like, oh, I don't need to go do all these other things because I'm taken care of. But once that promise is broken, you were expectant of those things for the next coming years. Like you were comfortable in the knowing that would be your like future. And so if that future or that promise is broken or taken away, I understand like you said, like a year of helping you get back on your feet, if like they were literally the only one paying the bills, if they're the breadwinners, all that, I would understand like helping them get back on their feet or helping them get into a safe place or position. But after that, I mean, I feel like it has to be up to the person to create their own future after that.
Indeed. There's got to be a cap to this or it will be abused. What's the motivation on getting a new career or finding a new man if it stops your free ride? It's very hard to turn down free money.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. Is it the media that's been leading you? I'll show you a thing. Misdirection, what's the message? They don't want you to win.
As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.